High prices continue to hit American shoppers as inflation increased to 7.5% for the month of January on an annualized basis, exceeding the 40-year high set just a month prior. The latest release of the monthly consumer price index by the Bureau of Labor Statistics on Thursday shows that price increases were most pronounced in food, electricity, and shelter. The indexes for food and energy rose 0.9%, and the index for shelter rose 0.3%. The core consumer price index minus the more volatile food and energy indexes rose 0.6% in January, the same as in December. Indexes for household furnishings and operations rose 1.3%. Used cars and trucks increased by 1.5%. Medical care went up 0.7%, and apparel increased by 1.1%. The rise in consumer prices appears to be sticking around despite earlier claims by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell that the effects would be transitory.
Trucker protests in Canada continue to cause backups at U.S. border crossings. Traffic on the Blue Water Bridge connecting Michigan and Ontario was at a standstill. And across the border from Detroit, trucks blocked access to the Ambassador Bridge. The backup has spilled over from the daily demonstration staged by the so-called Freedom Truck Convoy in the Canadian capital. President Biden is getting closer to his self-imposed deadline to name his Supreme Court nominee. President Biden met with Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee to discuss the candidates. NBC's Bree Jackson has more.
They were the honor students. They come from the best universities.
President Biden working to narrow down his short list of Supreme Court justice nominees. There have been more than a dozen candidates reportedly under consideration.
I've taken about 4 people and done the deep dive on them, meaning this thorough background checks.
The president standing by his vow to nominate a black woman to succeed Justice Stephen Breyer. Some Senate Republicans compared that promise to affirmative action. White House senior advisor Cedric Richmond tells me it's their qualifications that stand out.
These legal minds will be able to battle with the best of them, and I believe interpret the Constitution in a way that is excellent.
The future Supreme Court nominee will face a confirmation fight on Capitol Hill.
Whatever the president does, we'll respond to. It's up to him.
On Thursday, Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee met with the president to weigh in.
We shared with him some of our recommendations, but mainly the message was, we trust your judgment, Joe Biden, when it comes to choosing the right person.
Democrats hold a slim majority in the Senate and could confirm a nominee on their own. However, President Biden predicts he'll gain bipartisan support.
I'm not looking to make an ideological choice here. I'm looking for someone to replace Judge Breyer with the same kind of capacity Judge Breyer had, with an open mind.
The president says he'll make a decision by the end of this month. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.